Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute President and CEO, Marco Davis.
Muy buenos días, not yet tardes. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. Welcome to the 2022 Chci Alumni Association Leadership Awards Luncheon. Thank you all for joining us today to celebrate our distinguished alumni. Chci and the Chci Alumni Association are honored to present awards to two outstanding alumni each year: the Chci Medallion of Excellence for a Distinguished Alumnus and the Chci Young Alumnus Award. The Medallion of Excellence for a Distinguished Alumnus highlights the impact of CHCI's programs and the prominence of its alumni, recognizing a Chci alumnus who has made an outstanding contribution to the Latino community and oftentimes, as in this case, to the nation. The Chci Young Alumnus Award is a relatively new addition, in fact, thought up and proposed by the Chci Alumni Association itself, to spotlight the diversity of the growing Chci alumni body, celebrating a Chci alum who completed their Chci leadership program within the past 15 years, and exemplifies dedicated civic engagement and leadership in the Latino community and also, as in the case today, the nation. The work we do would not be possible without the generous support of our sponsors. On behalf of all of us at CHCI, I'd like to thank Uber for their generous sponsorship of this luncheon. And now I'd like to welcome to the stage to share a few words the Senior Manager of Federal Affairs for Uber and a friend, Zoraida Rodriguez Montenegro.
Muchas gracias. Buenos días, everyone. We are grateful to have the opportunity to be part of the CHCI Alumni Association Leadership Awards Luncheon. It is impressive to see all the accomplishment that the program and its alumni have achieved over the years. Programs like these are critical to the continued success of the government and the business community. At Uber, we understand the importance of diverse views and hold ourselves accountable for tracking our progress. Our 2022 People and Culture Report showed that Latino representation has grown 19.6% since 2019. We continue to ensure that we support the different communities to grow within the company. Congratulations to the recipients of the award and enjoy the lunch. Thank you.
Now I'm really excited to introduce you all to CHCI's new Director of Alumni Affairs, Pati Mendoza. If you do not already know Pati, I hope you get a chance to connect with her either at this event or at some later point. Pati joined us to help dramatically increase our engagement with you, our alumni, and to serve you. With Pati on board, we have already seen increased activity and interaction both between CHCI and our alumni network and among the alumni network itself. And of course, if you're enjoying all of these new offerings, these new activities, and you feel at any time moved to give back to CHCI in any way and help strengthen our overall familia, whether it's with your resources or your time or even making introductions to your connections, Pati is a great first point of contact. But now to share a few words, please welcome Pati Mendoza.
Buenos días. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today. Thank you, Marco, for the kind words. I am not an alum, but I'm a longtime fan of CHCI and all of the work that CHCI has done to really move the needle in continuing to provide personal and professional leadership development and opportunities to Latinx community, and we're able to see the ripple effects of that, long term through our 4,500 alumni base and growing that are all over the country and creating just national impact in their respective communities. So it's really an honor for me to be able to be part of such a phenomenal organization and to have the opportunity to work with our alumni and continuing to think about how we continue to make a national impact through their leadership. And I'm here to be of support to all our alumni and work with all of you. So it really is a pleasure to be here with all of you. Next, I'm going to invite Jose Luis Plaza, who is the National President for the CHCI Alumni Association and is a graduate of the fellowship program in 2012. Jose actually currently resides in California, where he's part of the executive team at Northeast Valley Health Corporations. Jose, thank you very much. Come on up.
Buenas tardes, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you from the Alumni Association to this event where we get to recognize alumni leadership, excellence in alumni leadership. It was a difficult choice selecting the folks we're recognizing today because we know that we have such amazing talent within our CHCI familia. I remember when I was a fellow, so welcome to all of our fellows and program participants. I was in awe of the excellence, again, in Latino leadership in the room. And so now, 10 years later, it is still awe-inspiring to be standing in front of you, witnessing the successes that I've seen of alums over the last 10 years. And I'm really excited to recognize our first awardee today, Kenya Lopez, the 2022 Distinguished Alumni Recipient. Kenya was a public policy fellow at CHCI in 1997 through 1998. She is now an associate judge in the Superior Court of the District of Columbia. Appointed by President Biden in June 2021 and confirmed by the Senate in February 2022. You make us very proud. Thank you. And here's the video.
I was born in Cuba in a small town called San Luis in the Santiago de Cuba province. I'm the youngest of 4 children. I lived in Cuba till I was 8. My family and I moved to the Canary Islands, Spain, and then we came to the United States, to Boston, Massachusetts.
Like so many other Latino stories, her family left Cuba to provide more opportunities for their children's future after the dictatorship took over that country.
I think she is incredibly proud of her mother and the courage that her mother displayed in packing up her children and moving to another country.
I just want to make sure I didn't leave my father out of the story. You know, I give my mom a lot of credit because it was her vision to get out of Cuba. But my dad, he had to sign the documents to let us go. And that, I think he's the unsung hero of our family, because without that consent, my mom wouldn't have been able to take us out of Cuba. He ended up staying in Cuba. My mom was primarily raising 4 kids by herself until he was able to join. He didn't come to the United States till I was 21. And I think that's a very unselfish thing to do, to just allow your children to leave your country not knowing when you're going to see them again, if you will.
Until you go out in the world, you don't have anything to compare it to. Then you see other parents didn't have to do what your parents did to get you just to first base.
That was a profound experience that ultimately I think has shaped who she is.
My mom, she always told us, no matter what happens, no one can take away what you learn. But it wasn't until high school that I did this program, and it was the first year. It was called the Judicial Youth Corps. And it was a program created by the Massachusetts Bar Association. And they started the summer program to get inner city youth into the courthouses to work for the summer. So that summer really set it off for me, that program. I went back to school with this renowned interest in academics, which wasn't there before. And I said, I'm going to be a lawyer. And I wanted to go to Northeastern because I heard they have the best criminal justice program. Back in those days, you could only get an application through your guidance counselor. I remember asking her for it. And she said, you just won't get in. And I said, okay, I still want the application. And so she refused to give me an application for college. And I remember reaching over her and just grabbing it. I think about the counselor